So this is part 3 of my final. I will be presenting on the mysteries of COVID-19. So understanding its long-term replication, the long-term effects, and the contagiousness of COVID-19. So the introduction is understanding the intricacies of the virus replication. So its long-term effects on the individuals and factors contributing to the contagiousness that have become crucial in fighting against the unprecedented pandemic. So the impact of the COVID-2019 has been far-reaching. It affected individuals' well-being, their healthcare systems, their economies, and the global connectivity around the world. So the emergence of coronavirus, specifically known as severe acute respiratory syndrome, triggered a global health crisis, and it had profound consequences since its first start in the late 2019s. So the virus responsible for causing COVID-19 presented significant challenges to the public healthcare system, the medical communities, and the societies worldwide. So, understanding the coronavirus. In response, scientists, healthcare professionals, and researchers made extensive efforts to comprehend the virus's behavior, their transmission patterns, and the infection mechanism. So, aiming to develop effective preventative measures. So, one of the primary modes of the coronavirus transmission is through the respiratory droplets released when an infected person coughs or they sneeze or they talk or they even breathe. So this was supported by the CDC. Additionally, the virus can spread throughout contact. So it can spread with just contaminated surfaces where individuals become infected by just touching these surfaces, and then it transfers the viruses to their mouth and sometimes possibly their eyes. So just by touching themselves, they can transmit the virus. So the replication of the virus is once the coronavirus enters the body, it will primarily target the respiratory system by attaching to the AC2 respiratory main found on the lung. So the abundance of these receptors in the respiratory tract explains why the virus predominantly affects the lungs. So following the attachment to the host cell, the virus will hijack the cellular machinery to replicate and generate more viruses, leading to the COVID-19 symptoms like fever, cough, and breathing difficulties. So the long-term effects are, so beyond the acute phase of the infection, certain individuals will sometimes experience what is called long COVID. So this will persist for months after the initial COVID-19. So these persistent symptoms include fatigue, sleep disturbances, and emotional issues like anxiety or depression. But in severe cases, people might face prolonged impaired lung infections or lung function and abnormal chest imaging. So the presence of this sustained systems indicates that potential deregulation of the immune response to the COVID-19 survivors. So the contagiousness Part 1 is that the high contagiousness of the coronavirus can be attributed to several factors. So firstly, asymptomatic individuals who do not display any symptoms of the virus can still spread it, making it challenging to control transmission. Asymptomatic also carriers unknowingly become a source of infection because of the rapid dissemination of the virus, even though they don't know they have it. So the widespread testing and contact tracing becomes essential in measuring to identify and isolate, these affected individuals. So contagiousness part 2. So secondly, the virus possesses a high reproduction number, indicating that each infected individual can spread the virus through multiple others. So this high reproduction number results in exponential spread across communities worldwide, making it difficult to achieve herd immunity. So herd immunity occurs when a significant portion of the population becomes immune to that disease. So this prevents further transmission. However, lastly, the coronavirus can survive on surfaces for extended periods. So this provides another pathway for transmission. So being able to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, which emphasizes the importance of maintaining proper hand hygiene and regulating disinfecting commonly through touch surfaces as part of comprehensive efforts to control the spread of the virus. But the coronavirus also represents a formidable global health challenge due to its high infectious nature and the potential for severe long-term consequences. And even though COVID-19 still is happening to this day and the spread has been going down slowly, its rapid replication within the human body presents health effects that ease the transmission, making it highly concerning for the virus, especially for healthcare professionals and the systems and the societies worldwide. So, in conclusion, coronavirus replication, long-term effects, and reasons for its contagiousness have been explored. The importance of continued research and prevention efforts like testing, tracing, vaccination are still being emphasized. The battle against coronavirus is a global effort requiring collaboration, shared knowledge, and coordination action. So today, even though the US still has not very much been COVID-19 on the news, there has still been cases, and to this day, researchers are still trying to find ways to prevent these diseases. So through such measures, we can hope to overcome the current pandemic, learn from its challenges, and better prepare for future global health challenges.